It's House Blend on SCV TV, and I'm Stephen K. Peoples, your host. Joining me now is a Santa Clarita Valley-based band that scored international gold in 2011 for their second album, Love is a Four-Letter Word. And they're back with a new CD called Boom. It's the McGrath Project. Welcome to band leader Gary McGrath, Ann Marita, Moses Sparks on bass, and Lynn Coulter on drums, and we're missing Phil Parlapiano on keyboards, who had to take off for another engagement. But welcome back. You guys are all House Blend veterans. You've been here before.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for having us back. Love being here.
Now, the last time you were here, you were talking about working on your third album, and that's now done.
Finally.
So tell us how the sessions went and what challenges you had getting this record out.
Well, we made Love as a Four-Letter Word, and it went gold in the UK and surprised all of us. And at that point, we had literally no band. Our bass player had retired, and then we had our drummer couldn't tour, so we had to replace everything. And then we got Moses in the band, and then we had Tommy Amato, and then Tommy moved, and Moses has several blues projects and stuff, and so we put another band together and got signed to a record company that was underneath Universal Music Group that folded after making the record, and then that band left, and so then we've had to finish the record and put this together, and here it is again.
So it's the McGrath Project Mach 3 or Mach 4?
It's something like that. Musical chair. The band has always had kind of a rotating door of members, and it's always been the same 3 bass players, 3 drummers, 3 keyboard players, and Ann and I. And so you can always see it at one point because everyone's a working musician, everyone's touring, everyone's doing something, hopefully. So if Lynn's not around, then we have, you know, Brian Head or, you know, Chet McCracken, and mainly it's Moses, and if he can't, we can drag Tim Bogert out of retirement, and that's it. But with Phil or Dean Minnerly, but it's always that group of people no matter what.
There's a core group that's the McGrath Project,
and
basically. Yeah.
Once we kind of, everyone but Lynn, because he was out of town, got to be on stage at the same time, and that was kind of cool.
That must have been a real wild scene.
It wasn't. It wasn't even a McGrath Project gig. That was the funny part.
Now, you're going to play a couple of songs from the new album.
Yes.
What's the first one that we're going to hear?
I guess Casey's Last Chance.
Okay. What's the story behind that?
You can fill this one in.
Well, the track was already done. It didn't have any lyrics. And we decided to call up all of our little friends who are teenagers and use some of their slang words. So we stole some lines
from prepubescents. But the other thing was we decided it was one fun hour for musicians, but ungodly for normies. And that was, we went on at 3 in the morning on a website called blondisms.com and found things that said, like, I don't eat anything with a head or feet and stuff.
Yeah.
And we just thought it was funny, and that became lyric lines. So the song really has no meaning. It's just, it's just a Valley Girl thing.
And honestly, nothing about Valley Girls. They're great, you know, so we got a lot of inspiration from
Well, let's rock it right now. Here they are on House Blend, the McGrath Project with Casey's Last Stand.
Wake up, slam! Show me something worth a damn! I ain't your wham bam, thank you, ma'am. You think I'm gonna touch that? Ew. What's your plan? 2 if I see, 1 if I land. You say like old stuff just cause you can. Well, you're not smart, you're just stupid. You think the sun just sets in your pants? You've already used up your last chance. You call that swagger? Well, you ain't got a clue. You snooze, you lose, what are you gonna do? My turn now. I love Lucy and my fair foxed hair. I'm wrapped up in my snuggie with my Kung Fu Panda bear. Excuse me, you're not listening. That you and you and you and you and you. I don't eat anything with a head or feet and stuff. I like my me time watching mindless bits of fluff. You blow up my phone with your texts and your tweets. Okay, so like totally meow meow meow. You think the sun just sets in your pants? 40 used up your last chance. You call that swagger? Well, you ain't got a clue. You snooze or lose, what are you gonna do? Oh. sun just sets in your pants. You've already used up your last chance. You call that swagger, well, you ain't got a clue. You snooze, you lose, what are you gonna do?
Another world premiere on House Blend. That's Casey's Last Stand by the McGrath Project. It's from the band's Boom album out in spring 2012. I'm Stephen K. Peoples, your House Blend host on SCV TV, and we're back in the studio now with the McGrath Project. Now, in March 2012, you guys hosted a very special gig for a very special friend who is an original member of the McGrath Project, Tim Bogert.
Yeah, he's the reason the McGrath Project even existed.
Well, tell us about Tim and the gig.
Well, Tim is a legendary bass player, played for the Vanilla Fudge. Yes, and played for the Vanilla Fudge and Cactus, and then did two power rock trios, one with Jeff Beck and one with Rick Derringer. And he's did a few solo albums, and legendary bass player, and he was in a horrible motorcycle crash and decided it was just too much work to keep playing. So he said, I'm retired, and a year into it, everyone that's been a friend decided to put on this show for him and let him play the songs he loves with the friends he loves, so he can just be goofy.
So who was there at the lineup? It was pretty incredible.
The core band was Moses, myself, Ann Marita, Brian Head, Luis Conte, Spencer Davis, and Phil. And then Luis brought with him Walfredo Rees Jr. from Santana. Brian Head brought with him Chuck Gavoris. I can never say his name right. Sorry, Chuck. And then
we had Ray Brinker show up.
Ray Brinker show up from Pat Benatar's band and Joe Cocker's band.
Right, he played with Ray Charles.
And then we had Jack Mack and the Heart Attack.
Mark Campbell
Yes. Showed up, and he came out and played. And then we had the actual keyboard player from the Spencer Davis group. I can't believe I'm...
Jim Blazer.
Thank you. And the people that were even there but didn't come on stage was we had the original bass player from the Steve Miller Band was there at the bar and introduced himself to me afterwards. And I said, well, why didn't you come up and play? And he said, well, no, I've just been a fan of Tim's. And it was just an amazing show.
What was Tim's reaction to it?
He was going to kill me.
We were quite scared for a while.
A couple of times, as I recall.
Yeah.
But it turned out I think he had a good time.
He had a good time. So much to the fact that he's wanting to do it again. So
great. Well, back to the new album. You have another song to play for us, and what's that?
It's called It's All Right. We were writing all the songs for the record, and Ann and I purposely wanted to make this record very much an homage to late 60s, early 70s classic rock. And we wanted to really have that sound, and I had this song that was very Kinks-like in nature. And so we decided to use a lot of the imagery of Alice in Wonderland and the whole psychedelic rock experience, and that's kind of where it came from.
All right, well, let's hear it right now. It's the McGrath Project on House Blend with It's All Right.
Lost in the mirror, you just want to jump through the looking glass, see the world through rainbow-colored eyes. You sip your tea and breathe at last. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Safe at last. Follow the rabbit down the hall. He promised chocolate for your soul. Tales to make you sleep. Take a bite, close your eyes and dream. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Safe at last. can feel my toes. Sunbeams, moonlight tickles my nose. Climb that evergreen pine. Just jump, it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Safe at last.
The McGrath Project with It's All Right. That's an original from the band's third album, Boom, out in spring 2012. And that's a wrap for this edition of House Blend on SCV TV. Many thanks to Sherry Pruitt and the Delgado brothers and the McGrath Project for being my special guests. By the way, if you're a solo artist or you're in a band and you perform original material and you'd like to appear on House Blend, send us an email. It's houseblend@scvtv.com. With a face perfect for radio, I'm Stephen K. Peoples, your House Blend host. Till next time, happy trails.